One of the most popular shows we ever did was a show where we had an entire month called Stank Month.
Good stuff, man.
And and our introduction to it is actually one of the most listened to shows that we've ever done. So, second time though, I'm going to throw this out there, but go through our catalog and just check out all the episodes, and you'll see there's everything from Soft and Quiet to Stink Month. That
Uh,
I want to say that might have been the last time that we did erotic thrillers. Have we done one since?
you know what? I don't think so. I don't think so. We need more
Yeah.
steak in our lives, dude.
We do need more steak in our lives. What are we thinking?
Yeah, we're gonna
Uh,
go.
well, we got one this week.
We got some steak.
The Attachment Diaries. It's set in 1970s Argentina, and it's about two women on the edge who their lives become intertwined, and the relationship and bond that they form leads to all kinds of secrets and revenge and bloodshed. But I did this last week, and this one, I don't know if you can say if there's degrees of this, but trigger warning for this because it does cover some pretty serious topics, sexual assault and medical procedures involving birth control. But it's not as raw or as in your face as Soft and Quiet. And being that we're covering these heavy topics, just a reminder, everyone, next week we do euthanasia. And the following week will be our expose on child abuse. So stick around,
Stick around.
for what we have coming. But The Attachment Diaries, this movie, I think the pacing is so interesting for this movie because it starts off like very noir, like it's raining and all you see are footsteps, and it really quickly gets into the like within like 3 minutes, it sets it up. Woman wants to get an abortion. Doctor says, no, I'm going to sell your baby. And you're like, holy shit, this is just speeding along. And then it slows it down, like almost
Yes.
comes to a complete halt.
Almost sparks.
Yeah, it's a really interesting decision with the pacing. And it continues like that. But that being said, I thought it was very smartly paced because what it does is this is basically about two characters. There's more than two characters in it, but
Mhm.
it's really letting you into the lives and the minds of two women, and the story and the mystery that it builds surrounding them. I thought was really well done. I thought the pacing was strange. Little thing, I can't stand when movies put their title like 30 minutes into them or an hour into them. That
49 minutes.
super pretentious. The first time I ever saw that was in this movie called it's a Korean movie called Last Life in the Universe, and they did it like after 40 minutes. And I was like, oh, fuck you. That's so aside from the
Uh,
just especially because it had credits to open the movie. What the
it
hell,
did.
man? That's just straight
Yeah.
up that's pretentious.
Th-
But other than that, I thought it was very well paced.
yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I was kind of man, this it's weird. I don't know what's it's like I don't know. Certain movies captivate the shit out of me. This was like I couldn't just look away from this movie. And like you said, dude, this is of some heavy topics. Rape, not a thing I like to watch movies about, or obviously it's an act, it's just violent, it disgusts me. And so anytime a movie is centric about that, I'm like, ugh, I'm probably just gonna be off put by that in general. This is a rare case where it was, and as the movie progresses, it becomes even more intricate into what that is even playing into. I was downright captivated by it, and I think that pacing played a large role in it because, like you said, it grinds down to where these scenes start taking longer and longer and longer, and it's more just intense acting between these two actresses. And man, I I couldn't tear my eyes away from this damn thing.
The and you're right, like rape is like what we've talked about, just
Yeah.
not a subject we like to see covered in movies. The attachment in the attachment diaries in this, the bond, a lot of it is formed because of shared incidents involving rape.
Right.
And as the movie progresses, it becomes a bigger part of the story. And it seems like you don't go more than 10 or 15 minutes without hearing about rape. But
Yeah.
and you're right, like you're dealing right off the bat with abortion. You're constantly dealing with rape. These are two things that you don't really want to see that much of, if ever, in a
If
movie.
ever.
And somehow this movie, and this is just based on its great characters and really good writing. These are two extremely difficult topics, and I feel the same way that you did. At first, I was like, okay, I don't know how. I thought this is going to be another Moon Garden
Oh yeah.
situation, but I was captivated by this movie. I wanted to see what was going to happen next, and not only was it the performances, like the storytelling is so good. This is very suspenseful, without being like the dun 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 type of suspense, like great foreshadowing, like just
Hmm.
really, really, really good stuff.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this might be the best directed movie I can say all year so far. The direction in this was low key, high key, whatever key, awesome. It was really, really great. The camera work, the director did an incredible job with doing like they would do these like distorted shots through like a vase or a glass on the table to where like it's distorting faces and pull, and there was some pans and shots that kind of led into some of that stuff. Dude, I thought, I was like, dude, this is like Hitchcockian, in a way, David Lynchian at times, like I don't know, these are names, lofty names, but there was some there with this movie, and in particular with how they move shots and how they drew your eye. It was like a painting. They were drawing your eye places all the time, and I thought that made it really fascinating. Like it made me, man, like you said, great acting, great storytelling, but man, I was like, what am I supposed to be seeing stuff? It became incredibly engaging.
It's stylish, very,
Stylish.
very stylish. Like the opening title cards are just really, really well done.
Mhm.
It's really cool. Yeah, the stuff like shooting through vases and using mirrors, and
Oh
the
yeah.
way rooms are shot is really well done. I will say this, and it's not a compliment, but there were times that this movie was like a perfume commercial. Like
Oh, okay, sure.
the music is loud and it's crashing, and then someone's running in slow mo.
Yeah.
Like,
Savage.
yeah, exactly. In this like stark black and white, but it
Oh,
was
by the
never.
way, the first part of the movie is in black.
Yes, yes, and this is plays into the story, and we'll get into that. The Yeah, and it's but it was never corny. It stood out to me, and I was like, okay, that's kind of that's something,
Yeah,
but it didn't ruin it for me. It actually
right.
fit very well in this very stylish noir.
Yeah. Yeah, what a kind of a genre bending movie this is. Yeah, it crosses a lot of lines into the avant-garde even, I would say, at times, and that's a hard thing to pull off. To kind of run the gamut on that stuff, and then dabble in like some Quentin Tarantino style 70s like, dude, like what is this movie even doing? But somehow it all kind of worked. It was just strange.
Oh yeah, like I mean, it has a consistent tone, but
It
good
does.
luck picking a genre because
Yeah.
it's a love story, it's a mystery. There's elements of horror in it. I mean, this just goes up and down. Like
Yeah.
you mentioned, it starts in black and white. Now, a lot of movies will they
Eh,
do different things with the camera to kind of show like a revelation or an epiphany. This one is straight up. Someone is having a sexual awakening in the most graphic way possible. It
mhm.
goes from black and white to color.
Yeah,
Like, and
pretty simple.
it's almost art student. It's almost too much,
It made me
but
laugh.
yeah, it was and it was in the moment, and actually very it was perfect for that
It
moment.
was. It was. And it was like getting back to that like mid-movie title card, like it's even at a weird time in the movie. It's like with the 12 minutes or whatever left. I don't even remember. Maybe you should cut that. I don't know. But there there's when it happens, it's even more kind of like, what? Why now? Of all time. But
Yeah.
sure, but like you said, it's on the nose, exactly. Well, that's not on the nose, but you know why.
In this movie, like we said, it is an erotic thriller. It's graphic. It's
Oh man.
except in its violence, not so graphic. But
Yeah.
some of the other stuff it shows, like it's a person who self harm is also a part of this. But
Self-harm, right.
the first time they show it, It
Like,
completely threw me off.
okay.
It was one of those things where you're looking around like, oh man, is anybody else watching? Can they see what I'm watching?
The best way I could put that is like that's when my mom would have walked in the room. Like, oh, what are you
One of
watching?
those moments, yeah.
Like,
What the
oh,
hell
nothing,
are you
mom.
watching? I swear it's an artsy movie.
It's an art house movie.
Watch 5 more minutes. You're gonna think it's a perfume commercial.
Exactly.
the uh the attachment diaries, and there are portions of diaries read throughout, but so it's kind of attachment is a huge part of this. A bond is a huge part of it. The actual diary plays a surprisingly small part in this
Oh,
movie.
yeah. I mean, it's right. I mean,
Really weird.
really strange. I mean, it's kind of a neat title, I
It
get,
is.
I get it, but yeah, you could have called just attachment,
Yeah, I think
that'd have been a little better.
I my I my main we're talking up this movie very much, but I do
Yeah,
have one huge problem with this
sure.
movie.
Okay.
Everything's building to the ending. It's coming to a almost a natural conclusion. Like it's built, it's super suspenseful. You don't know what's
Mhm.
going to happen, and then it just ends. And I was I was almost angry by how it was
Yeah.
obviously an intentional choice. This kind of goes to this very stylish directing style, but it was almost like they just ran out of ideas and they were like, okay, let's just explain what happened, roll credits. And I did not like that.
I I'm with you, man. I'm glad you said it because it is my biggest gripe about the damn thing. And I have a theory on it because it made me think, man. I was
Please
like,
share.
ooh, interesting choice, right? So
Yes.
then it gets back to our mid-movie title card, right? So I think it's because they wanted you to feel like you just got to like the middle of the story. Like like you saw like a prologue, well, then you get a title card, then you kind of get what's happening now, and now there's a whole lot more movie to tell, but that's their artistic avant-garde choice to be like, nope, nope, that's where I quit telling the story. And it's like,
This
what?
you Yeah. I'm gonna tell you what happened. You can work it out
You can figure the rest
yourself.
out yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, I will say I didn't like it. Your explanation makes a lot of sense. Actually,
Mhm.
I wasn't a big fan of it. I thought it
Ah,
ruined the flow of it, and it kind of went against the rest of it because everything else was so
yeah,
patient and well constructed, and
yeah.
it looked like it was a very meticulously shot, plotted, and planned movie. But that just seemed like it was so out of nowhere. But I mean, and actually, because it was so out of nowhere and so against the rest of the movie, I believe that it was 100% intentional.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah, I totally think it was on purpose, supposed to do something to you. And if it's supposed to tick us off, maybe that was the purpose. I don't know. You're right. The last what like 7-8 minutes of the film, they don't feel like the rest of the movie at all. And it totally gets away from what was so enjoyable. Not that it ruins it, but it definitely kind of feels rushed, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah, like for another movie, I would say that they were running out of film, running out of money, and this is a
Mhm.
low budget film, but it feels rushed and all that stuff. But I truly think that that's exactly how it was
I agree.
supposed to end.